Hello, fourth grade, and welcome back to topic 14. Today's lesson is going to be 14-2, and we're going to be working some more with patterns and specifically number rules. So let's go ahead and watch our short video and then jump into our notes and our guided practice.
What is the pattern?
You can use a pattern to help you solve a problem.
There are 3 leaflets on 1 clover leaf. There are 6 leaflets on 2 clover leaves. There are 9 leaflets on 3 clover leaves. How many leaflets are on 4 clover leaves? How many clover leaves will have 12 leaflets? How does the picture help you find the information you need to answer the question? The picture shows 3 leaflets on each clover leaf. You need to find how many leaflets are on 4 clover leaves and how many clover leaves will have 12 leaflets. You can use a table to create, extend, and identify features of a pattern. What is the rule for finding the number of leaflets on 4 clover leaves? Multiply the number of clover leaves by 3. There are 12 leaflets on 4 clover leaves. What features are in the pattern in the table? The numbers of leaflets are all multiples of 3 and are all multiples of the number of clover leaves. Now look at this new table. How many clover leaves are there for 12 leaflets? There are 4 clover leaves for 12 leaflets. What features are in the pattern in this table? The number of clover leaves is a factor of the number of leaflets. Now you can use a pattern to solve a problem.
Okay, so let's take a look at these two tables. Now, what they did here was they basically flipped these tables. So instead of multiplying by 3, in this side, you're doing the inverse, you're dividing by 3. So instead of having the number of clovers and then counting the leaflets, over here, they gave you the number of leaflets and they asked you to find the number of clovers. So you're taking a rule and you're applying it to every. Okay, now let's get into our notes and our guided practice for this lesson. Again, we're working on number rules. So now that we've learned how to apply a rule to find a pattern, we're going to find a rule by looking at the pattern, trying to solve the problems. So what is the rule that's going to be followed in this pattern? So here we have a number of packs and the number of juice boxes in each pack. Now, from looking at the numbers, we see that 1 pack has 6 juice boxes, and 2 packs has 12 juice boxes, and 3 packs has 18 juice boxes. So I need to stop and think, how are these numbers related? How do I get from 1 to 6 and from 6 to 12 and from 3 to 18? So let me start with going from 1 to 6. We'll start with our smallest numbers, and we're going to try out different rules. Now, I know 1 plus 5 can give me 6, so let me see if that rule works for the other numbers. 1 plus 5 equals 6. That one works. Now, 2 plus 5 does not equal 12 because I know in 2 packs there's 12. So that rule, the adding 5, doesn't work. So I have to try a different rule. So let's try again. How else can I get from 1 to 6? Well, I know 1 times 6 is 6. So let me try the rule multiply by 6. So 1 times 6 equals 6. 2 times 6 does equal 12. 3 times 6 does equal 18. So now that I know my rule is going to be multiply by 6, I can find my next 3 numbers. So 4 times 6 will give me 24. 5 times 6 will give me 30. And then 6 times 6 will give me 36. So this is what I was talking about even in the previous lesson. You have to try out the different rules that you come up with and see if they work for the other numbers. It might work for one number, but it might not work for all of them. Let's take a look at another example. Now, using the rule multiply by 3, how many batteries do 8 flashlights need? What about 10 flashlights? So I have my table over here. So the number of flashlights, one flashlight needs 3 batteries. Two flashlights need 6 batteries. 3 flashlights need 9 batteries. So I need to stop and think. If my rule is multiply by 3 to find the number of batteries, 8 flashlights will need to be 8 times 3. So 8 times 3 is 24. And that tells me that 8 flashlights will need 24 batteries. Now I can apply the same rule to 10 flashlights. 10 flashlights times 3 batteries for each one gives me 10 times 3 equals 30. So 10 flashlights will need 30 batteries. So here what you did was you extended the pattern. You carried it out further and you used that pattern, you used that rule and you applied it to numbers that are greater than the ones that they gave you in the data table. So you took the rule that they gave you and you used it for bigger numbers. That's what extending a pattern is. Now let's take a look at a couple other examples. Now we have the rules, and we're going to describe a feature of each pattern as well. Now, over here, if the rule is multiply by 3, now we had some missing numbers. We know 1 times 3 is 3, so 2 times 3 would be 6, 3 times 3 would be 9, 4 times 3 would be 12, 5 times 3 would be 15. Now, a feature of this particular pattern is that all of these are multiples of 3. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, these are all multiples of 3. And we see that the numbers on top are all factors for the numbers underneath them. 5 is a factor of 15. 4 is a factor of 12. 3 is a factor of 9. 2 is a factor of 6. And 1 is a factor of 3. Now our next one, the rule is divide by 2. So 100 divided by 2 is going to give me 50, split into 2 equal groups. 90 divided by 2 is going to be 45. 80 divided by 2 is 40. 70 divided by 2 is 35. 60 divided by 2 is 30. So we found all of our missing numbers. Now, a feature of this is that all of my bottom numbers are multiples of 5. You can see that they either end in 5 or 0, so they're multiples of 5, and they are half of the number that's on top of them. Our next rule is divide by 8. So we have 72 and 9, so 72 divided by 8 equals 9. We have 80 and 10, so 80 divided by 8 equals 10. Then we have 88 and 96 and 104. So 88 divided by 8 is 11, 96 divided by 8 is 12, and 104 divided by 8 is 13. Now, a feature of this is you can see that these are all moving up in ones. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And the bottom numbers are all factors for the numbers above them. Next, let's take a look at our guided practice. So it says the rule for the table is multiply by 4. What number does not belong? So we need to try all of these numbers. 1 times 4 equals 4, 2 times 4 equals 8, 3 times 4 equals 12, but 4 times 4 does not equal 15. 4 times 4 actually equals 16. So the 15 is the number here that does not belong. And for number 2, it says complete the table, then describe a feature of the pattern. So our rule is divide by 4. So we have the total number of wheels and the number of cars. So there are 8 wheels on 2 cars. There's 12 wheels on 3 cars. There's 16 wheels on 4 cars. So 20 divided by 4 is going to give me 5 cars. There are 20 wheels on 5 cars, and I can do the inverse to check. 4 times 5 does equal 20. Now, a feature is that the number of cars is a factor for the number of wheels. That takes us to the end of this lesson. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, have an amazing day. Take care. Bye-bye.